Welcome to this freshly hatched, unmatched batch from scratch, the show where, just like our emotions, the beers are bottled and canned.
Every episode, we try some beer, talk about life. We really don't know shit about either, so don't set your expectations too high.
Our credentials, null. Our expertise, void, so don't take anything we say too serious.
Let's talk some shit.
Well, welcome back to Bottled and Canned. It's episode 29. I'm Matt.
I'm Jason.
What's up, dude?
How was the audio on that? I was looking at the tracker.
Yeah, dude. You're fantastic. And usually I do some kind of welcome back to the show thing, but frankly, I had to push a lot of buttons, and I think I've had enough to not fuck up that I had to fuck something up. So welcome back to the show where I fucked something up. So
What'd you fuck up?
I usually do welcome back to the show where about blank in something, you know what I mean, gets inserted. But I just forgot to do that part and rushed right to our
and
names.
We're live, so we can't undo it.
Yeah, so we usually wouldn't undo it anyway. We would just like soldier on as we always do. I feel like I think we've only had like one or two times we had to cut anything out just because it was a little like low-key fucking insensitive or something, like to somebody, you know, I can't remember. It was very,
there were some things
there,
yeah. No, that's
not often. We just let it roll. We don't take the show too serious.
It's funny because all the comments I get on Instagram and the emails we get, they always just talk about, they always like to point out when you fuck up, so keep those coming.
Yeah, okay, man, awesome. I don't think I've ever seen one of those, to be honest with you. Anyway, man, we technically, like Jason said, we are live. We didn't have to be. We usually release like what would be tomorrow, like a Thursday is our episode release day, and we still will drop the audio, but we're recording tonight, so fuck it. Let's just do it. Just do it. We're here. We'll do it live.
Yeah, we'll deal with our sponsors afterwards and not sticking to the days and
honestly,
the format and the schedule.
Honestly, there's so many sponsors. Like it was tough to even like work out the deals we worked out for the ones that are like doing this episode. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So they should just be fortunate they get us to sponsor.
Yeah, that's right, my guy. So anyway, man, listen, I'm oddly sober today. So
why?
Because like I had a lot to do, like in the kitchen. I was prepping some beef jerky for tomorrow.
Oh shit, that shit's good, dude.
And it's a different batch. It's a new recipe I'm trying out. Thank you. And then I had to like cook tonight. And then that's all. So I was just doing a lot. And I ended up like not wanting to drink too much before the show. And so before I knew it, I had like, you know, 2 beers over like the course of 2 hours. And I was like, I don't want to drink again. So then I just started pounding water. And now we started like a little bit later. So anyway, it's just been a couple hours of me drinking water after I had a couple beers. So I'm just like, I'm ready to drink, dude. I'm ready to like check out this fucking beer, bro.
Yeah, well, let's dive right in and
let's get to
today's beer.
Today's beer. Today's beer. I'm just doing a shot. Today's beer.
What? It's a rye. I was gonna say, like, I wonder if they had one of these that was like.
It's a Reefer Madness from Great Notion Brewing Company. Oh, hi Mondu.
Reefer.
Lulu.
Oh yeah, there he is.
Lulu.
Yeah. So, is it bottled or is it canned?
Oh, I'm so glad you asked. It is actually canned, and it's an interesting looking can. It's you know, as you saw, it's kind of red in nature. It's kind of
orange. I would go with a
burnt orange. I love that. It's a way better description of what it would be. And then it kind of has like a very 1920s kind of pulp, like flyer or PSA type of vibe. Also, because it is based around that film Reefer Madness. Are you familiar with that film? Do you know like what that is?
No.
Oh, really? Back in the day, there was a propaganda campaign. I believe it was like 1920s or 30s. So I want to say close, maybe even like in the teens. Who knows? Back in the day when it was so long ago, I don't really know anyone from there. they again, there was a propaganda campaign, and there was a movie that was a part of kind of like that wave of propaganda and that kind of messaging, that when people smoked reefer, they turned into like savages and monsters and creatures, and it was like for other looking people, and it was for criminals and things like that. So this definitely is taking from, like, look at it. They're trying to like again make it look like it's this irresistible, thing that you can't put down once you pick up. Man, I'm fucking getting over a cold. So one, I feel so nasally today. I feel like all the pressure's in my head.
And
two, I like.
What's it have to do with the
dragon?
blender?
What's up?
What's the blender about?
Oh, so the style of beer is I should have told you guys that too. A smoothie sour. So it's kind of going to be like a smoothie pastry sour. This is actually interesting. When I was looking at the numbers, I wanted to tell you this. Check this out. So as far as sours go, this will be the third smoothie or pastry sour we've had on the show, which ties our number 1 and 2 styles, which are hazy and double hazy IPAs, which is wild. So this is like tied.
You know what I love about this?
The style we've had. This is our third time.
I love that our show already has analytics.
Exactly. We got analytics. We're crunching the fucking numbers here on Bottled and Canned. That's what we do. We don't crunch numbers.
So out of curiosity, does this smoothie one have mindful botanicals or adaptogens in it?
No, it actually doesn't. But if you look around, you can tell the people what is in here. Turn it backwards and read the ingredients. So
tart smoothie ale with strawberry, blueberry, blackberry, raspberry, and natural and artificial flavors. Have we ever discussed, by the way, what artificial flavors could be made of on the show?
No, we've never done that.
So
yeah,
I was told.
I'm gonna open this while you're.
Yeah. No, let's dive in. Can I just say one thing about the can?
Too late. I opened it. Yes.
Yeah,
my God.
So this character here, this ape-looking guy.
That's the Great Notion kind of like Sasquatch mascot.
Yeah. So if you shaved his beard and just left the mustache, and put a badge, police officer badge on his jacket, he would look like my stepdad.
That is funny. Also, sorry, and last thing, I forgot to say this. Look, it's not the word reefer, by the way. I know it refers to that. I didn't mean to bury the lead a little bit. I believe it's like refermentation. So it's like refirm. If you look at it, it's like there's an M at the end here. Refirm madness. So I did want to say that I did not. That was not lost on me. I just wanted to call that out. Okay, this thing pours thick as it should. It's called a smoothie sour.
Smoothie.
It's a smoothie sour.
Shit.
So it's gonna pour thick and heavy, but I did kind of like store it upside down for a little bit before, so like hopefully it's like kind of more balanced.
It is.
It's a smoothie sour, okay, and it's gonna have a lot of berries in it. So anyway,
does it have whey or soy protein?
Dude, I don't think it's got either. Cheers,
Dude,
man.
Cheers.
All right, this thing looks like a blueberry
have
smoothie.
This at Jamba Juice. Oh my God! Let's open, Matt. Let's open a bottled and canned.
Oh, it tastes so
good. Smoothie beer bar.
That's also good because I was so thirsty. A smoothie beer bar. Okay. Wow. There's a lot going on there, and it actually is quite tart.
Okay.
For this style.
So
it usually gets kind of lost in it. That does stand a little stronger flavor wise in that taste.
So I'm gonna say that the tart, it doesn't taste sour like one of the sours that we had that tasted like somebody put my Sour Patch Kids in a beer.
Right.
This tastes sour and tart as though it's a smoothie. Like it's the fruit tartness, not artificial tartness.
Right.
Oh, you didn't answer my question. Or you did answer my question. One, did we talk about what natural flavors? Or was it?
No, I don't know what the fuck natural flavors are, dude.
Dude, so it's either natural vanilla or natural flavors. If you look on Google, the search engine online on interwebs, the Googs, it is possible that natural may, because it can come from I think it's a beaver's anal glands, and I don't know how I feel about that.
Yeah, there's like bug parts and beaver anal glands.
It's and that's not even a joke. That's like legit. I Googled it when everything's on is true online, right?
Oh yeah, if it's on the internet, like it's basically nothing short of
gold.
Factual. Yeah,
gold, like the microphone I'm gonna
literary gold. So, Wow, man, I don't know. I'm so glad that I saw this one, and I had like an idea again for the main discussion and how to connect it later on. But I just this is a really good brewery. We've actually had Great Notion before, and in fact, hey, I want to see how many times have we had Great Notion.
You said we didn't have analytics, and now here we do. We're crunching numbers again.
We're back to crunching numbers. This is our second time with Great Notion on the show. We also had Big Papaya. Remember when they called me Big Papaya episode? It was episode 9. You did give that one a pretty good score, so I'm curious to see how that one.
This one, I'm going to give this a decent score. I can't have more than one, but it's going to get a decent score out of me because it feels like a very good beach or summer beer. Right? Like I would not want to drink this necessarily in the winter because it's cold. And it is very thick. It coats the mouth.
It coats the mouthfeel because of that. Yeah, the smoothie. It's actually pretty. I don't know. Even texturally, I feel like it's well balanced. It's not as thick as some of the other smoothie sours and smoothie beers I've had.
But it feels very. Did you just say this? It feels smooth.
Yeah.
You know, like when you make sure you blend a smoothie really well. It's like there's no chunks in it.
Yeah.
I'm tasting this. I'm expecting to get some chunks. It's just smooth, man. Dude, it's really good.
It's really good.
So what?
I'm really happy with this.
Yeah, no, this is fucking legit, bro.
It's actually like, as I've had more sips of it, it's actually kind of like, I liked it first sip. First on, I was into it. The more I've drank it, the more I'm into it. So, I'm kind of happy with this.
A junction crazed abandoned. I don't know what that even means on this can. I don't know. I can't even put those words together to make sense. Warm storage victims. What? I don't know.
Well, like reckless abandon or crazed abandon is like you taking your shirt off and running down the street. Like he ran down the street with crazed abandon.
I've heard reckless abandon.
So adjunct craze. So it's like you're just like you're not quite crazy. You're just like just at a side of.
What's ISOs cry for it? Proxies die for it. What does that mean?
I believe that would be some kind of joke for the brewing process, like isotopes, and I don't know. Like again, I believe that's some kind of joke for a fermentation of beers, and that's the refirm, is like they're re-fermenting it twice. Again, they don't really call it out. The little blurb on their like beer description is quite cheeky, anyway. But
dude, I like it. No, for real, man.
All right, so we got to rate this motherfucker, man. Let's go. We're dragging. What do you rate it, Jason?
Can I see where I put the other ones?
No, I don't want you to see it because I'm just curious how far you've come since episode 9, and how it hits, bro. How it hits.
So do I judge it based on what it is?
Well, okay. By the way, episode 9 was just the same brewery. The other episodes, I don't even look them up.
So I'm gonna say I'm gonna judge it based on it being a sour. It's better than the other sours I've had.
Okay.
I like the smooth. There's a lot I like about it. The drinkability factor, I'm not going to take into consideration because I don't want to have more than one of these. And typically, I'd be like, "Oh, that changes my rating." But in this case, this is so solid that it's going to be the exception to how many I can drink rule. And I am going to go with 4, 6, 1.
Are you serious? That's quite high.
Yeah, it's fucking good.
Okay, that's pretty. That's actually in line with that other one too, by the way. Okay. Anyway, but that was a sour, just a fruited sour. You gave that a 4.57 from Great Notion. So you do like Great Notion's beer quite well. So, but that's a really good score.
If it wasn't for you bringing the sours, I would never try a sour. Because whenever I go, last time I stopped at Beer Zombies, I was like, nah, I don't want the sour. Yeah. But this one, if it was at I don't know where they would sell this one on tap, but I would totally get it for one beer.
Okay. Also, I think I did the math. I added a number. No, that's it right there. There it is, right there. It is our third. It was our third. Okay, I was worried our analytics were getting questioned by my own self, but no, they're right. I did good. You gave the other one a low score. The first time we had this style, episode 17, you gave it a low score, 3.86.
Okay.
Then the last time we had it after that, you gave it a 3.75, and then this style is a 4.61. So this is like really the first one of this style that you've liked.
Yeah,
even above a 4, and you gave it a 4.61. That's a strong.
But this is also
score.
The summer. It feels like a smoothie.
Hey,
I've been getting those.
It's your system, bro.
I don't know what they're called. Acai, is that how you say it? I've been getting some of those
acai bowls. Yeah,
and
those are so good, dude.
And those are fucking good.
I love how like I think my wife calls them Asahi bowls, like the beer.
Like-
She's like, can we get some Asahi bowls? And I'm like, hell yeah. That is the bowl with beer.
Beer
I'm
and
in on that, dude. Yeah. Okay. So I'm kind of dead set on like a 4.35 basically is where I'm at. Like just under a 4.4, which is an insanely high score for this kind of style for me. So I feel really good about that score, and I'm happy with it. So like I'm so glad I found this beer. This is really good. I'm really happy to.
So
But I also used to have like berry smoothies when I was a kid, and berry ice cream. I'd get triple berry.
what drew you to this?
So to step one, always like when I go shopping, especially when I'm looking through beers, is I have to find a beer that sparks a good idea, and then it can't. I don't know. I just try to avoid like just generic IPAs, but I will take an IPA if it's like perfect for like a topic.
Sparks an idea. Okay.
But I need that first beer to meet that topic threshold. And once I have that beer, I can get 2 of those cans, and then I can just kind of shop for my other beers. So I turned down this beer last time I was shopping. I almost did this beer and like this topic that I had an idea for. And then I was there this time shopping, and it was still there, and I was like, "Okay,
And you still have the
I'm
same
gonna grab
idea?
it." And I was thinking about it last time, and the style was different, and
That was going to be my next question. Was when you went in there this time to go look, did you come across anything else that you're like, you know what, maybe,
not
and like
really,
the debate between the two?
not really, to be honest with you. I was kind of surprised to say that, but
So
not really.
So creatively, when you're finding the beers, do you have topics in mind? Like, do you have like maybe just some things you've thought about for the show, and you've got like maybe 15 or 20 things floating around in your head, and then like you come across a beer and you're like, oh, that matches this topic? Or is it completely blank slate? You walk in, you're like, oh, look at that beer. That just
Blank slate.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, blank slate.
How do you get to a blank slate?
Did we do that? It was not.
No.
Yeah, we did a blank slate episode. It was
Did we?
tabula rasa was the beer,
All right, I'll
which
go
was
back and
Latin
listen and
for
find out how you
blank,
did
a
it.
clean slate.
I'll make everybody else go back and
You
listen.
didn't remember that was like a whole. We
Dude,
spent
you
a whole
want-
episode on that,
Dude, you know what's interesting? My memory's shit.
Okay, all right. I mean,
Just is.
all right.
It's like I don't remember anything ever, and then somebody's like, happens all the time at work. I'm like, what? I already sent you that email. Like, refresh my memory, and I'm like, oh yeah, that's right. And I think I just can't remember things because I think about so many things that it's hard to remember one of them.
I mean, that's and like when your brain is making decisions at work too. Like sometimes you get like decision fatigue by the end of the night, and or end of the day and stuff like that. And so yeah, I could totally see how like that happens. But
I end up running on cruise control. Like my body's on cruise control. I'm doing a lot of things, answering a lot of questions, solving a lot of problems. But there's always like a number of things in my head. So if I was to walk in, if it was my job to find a beer, first of all, the first thing I would do would walk into liquor store, and then I think I would look at everything systematically, like come up with like 5, 6, 7, 8 ideas, and then go back. And then I would make sure that I overthought the whole process until I drove myself crazy and gave myself a headache. And then I would say, fuck it, and just grab anything. And so that would be my process. I was just kind of
that's a
comparing.
bold strategy. Oh.
It works.
I mean, I think we all have something to learn there about how to not be mean to ourselves, and that's not how.
But because of that, these are the reasons why I can't remember what we did on the last show, because I think a lot.
I love it.
It just means I'm intelligent. So
Well,
fuck it.
It just means you got a lot going on. Just it's like a sign of a cluttered desk is a bright mind. You know what I mean? A genius has a cluttered
my
desk.
desk is super clean.
Oh no.
Maybe I was wrong.
Oh no. All right.
right,
Well,
so-
you know what? This thing is time for us to get to.
It's a time killer and vein filler.
All right, it's time for that time killer vein filler. Jason, what do you have in store for me today?
So first of all, I was going to like side note. What's that face for?
I think your dog farted.
Hoof hearted?
I think your dog farted, bro.
Oh, I thought you were talking about the brewery. Let's call back, by the way, if you were wondering.
Oh, I know. Oh, I know who hoof hearted is.
Yeah. I do. I think next time I'll bring my headphones because I like to hear the music.
Okay.
That was just a side note for everybody listening at home. All right, so Matt,
Jason.
are you ready for our time killer, vein filler?
I'm ready to kill some time and fill my veins
Okay.
with his sweet refirm madness.
So Monday
Okay.
was Cinco de Mayo.
Okay.
I got some questions for you to see how well you know.
Oh my
Cinco
God!
de Mayo.
Another holiday trivia.
Yes.
All right. Okay. What do we
All
have in
right.
store?
True or false? Cinco de Mayo is the Mexican Independence Day.
True.
False, bitch.
Damn it, dude.
It is not, because that day is on September 16th. It is the Battle of Puebla, I guess I'm saying, in 1860. What, Matt? Correct, 62.
Oh, 62.
Yes. All right. Next question. What is the largest bowl of guacamole ever made on Cinco de Mayo?
Is this like multiple choice, or is it like
No, you got to guess the largest bowl ever made.
quantity of like the largest?
Yeah, I was curious at how close you can get. I was going to give you multiple choice, but I thought it'd be more fun to see how close you could just guess in America. I wouldn't even know what to guess.
500-pound guacamole.
No, in 2017, one event in California made 4,970 pounds of guacamole. It's a big fucking bowl.
Jesus, man. Okay.
Do you think they ate it all before that shit turned brown?
No, absolutely not.
Why does it turn brown? It looks gross, but it's still
just
good.
oxygen. It's oxidized.
Fucking oxygen is the worst, dude. It ruins everything.
Yeah, it does.
What is the largest taco ever made on Cinco de Mayo? Oh, you got to know this one. And who made it? It's a side note.
I would say Guy Fieri.
Nope. Wrong.
Okay, the king of Flavortown didn't make it. I don't know who would. But I think it's like a half-mile long taco.
I have no idea how many feet that is. So can you break that down into feet?
A 2,500-foot taco.
Jesus Christ. No, that's ridiculous.
Oh, what the hell? Last time I undersold it. This time I overdid it.
246 feet.
Damn it.
How many people took to eat it? It was Taco Bell made it. Which, by the way, I got 2 free tacos from Taco Bell because I was at Knights game last night. They scored 2 goals in the first and then shit the bed the rest of the game and lost 4-2.
True.
Fuckers. Go Knights, go. Still love you.
Yeah, well, we watched the game. It was a bummer. I don't know, man. These are too hard.
All right. So the next one, Matt. I mean, these are questions everybody knows. What was that thing we did for Karen that one time? And what was that formula that we put up there? Like, Karen, everybody knows. And she got the backpack. And it was like quantum physics questions when we played that game. That was fucking hilarious. What was that final formula we put up there? It had like a name to it. It was fucking hilarious.
It was like the string theory. We put like the like it was like quantum string theory like written out or something. I don't know why did we do that again?
Because every time she wanted a backpack, and when she started with the company, they didn't have any backpacks to give her when she got her computer.
Rigged it so people knew the answers to these insanely hard. Like we told. Wait, who was it? Who did we tell?
Wait, hold on. Let's just give a little bit of the context of that shit because that shit was hilarious. So for like 6 months or more, almost a year, she was asking for a backpack, and people would start and they'd get a backpack, and she never got a backpack. And we're sitting in that leadership meeting, and everybody's like, "Okay, we should just order Karen a backpack." I was like, "No, maybe when she retires, I'll give it to her." I'm not giving because anytime corporate would come into town, like, and we do like those like big meetings, and everybody had the questions. She'd be like, I didn't get a backpack when I started. And finally, we had to tell her, Karen, do not ask the backpack question to anybody ever. Like, no one cares. And then we finally got rid of the backpack, and you and I came up with that mentee game. And we're like, it was in my team meeting, and we said, okay, we're going to do it for her. We're going to give it to her, but we're going to make her play for a game. And we came up with all those questions, like quantum physics questions. And we're like, okay, Karen, here's your chance to get your backpack. We're just going to play a game. And we gave everybody all the answers ahead of time. And we just started asking the question. And she was like looking at, first of all, she looked at me like she was going to kill me. because she's been asking for a backpack, and now I'm giving one away to the winner of this easy game. And every question was impossible, and she was like, she was so mad. I go, Karen, these are everyone knows these. They teach this shit in kindergarten. Like, how don't you know? These are very common questions. And then what's his name? Andrew ended up winning. Because it was like Karen came in last. Obviously, she's the only one who didn't have the answers. And he was like, oh, awesome. I just got one yesterday when I started. And she fucking was about to go through the roof. And then we let her in. I was like, Karen, we're just fucking with you. We got this backpack for you. It was like the branded one she was looking for. It was hilarious.
Yeah, like I do remember you came to me and you were like, can you design the most impossible quiz ever? I remember finding like French literature, and it was like, who wrote the Pion de Resistance of 1862, debated as one of the hottest French writers of this period, and then it was like all these names, and she's like, I don't know this,
dude.
I don't know which one it is. She was so mad. And how do you all know this? I do remember how pissed off.
And then they made the TikTok where she was like, she went to the VP's office and was like, well, I look good today. There was a song and. Ariana did.
I look good today.
Yeah, and she's got her feet up on the VP's desk everywhere. She's like holding trophies with her back. That was super fun.
I do remember that too. But anyway, so shout out to Karen.
These are easier than that, so I don't know why you don't get these.
Anyway, back to your super fun game.
True or false? There are 10 official languages in Mexico.
True.
False, bitch. 68 national languages, according to Chuck GPT.
Fuck, man. All right.
Fine. True or false? There's no chocolate in Mexico.
False.
False, bitch. They invented it.
I said that.
Yeah, I did that, but the script says false, bitch. So I had to say it. Yeah, no, it was created by, I don't know. They created it, actually. That was interesting. I didn't know they created chocolate. I don't know if that's accurate, but that's what chat said. Where was the first color movie made, and what was the title?
Cinco de Mayo in Mexico.
50% right. Finally got something close to correct.
I got the last question correct. Like, what?
I don't know. I just heard false, bitch, so I must have got it wrong. The first color film was actually made in Mexico. The title was El Patriota. It means the Patriot. All right. Where was the world's largest pyramid built?
Tenochtitlan.
It says Cholula, Puebla, Mexico.
Oh, okay.
By the Olympic civilization. You don't know anything about Cinco de Mayo.
This is so fun.
Dude, it was a blast.
All right. Any more of your fun questions?
Yes. I have one more question for you. A real question.
All right.
What was your favorite thing to eat on Cinco de Mayo? If you had one food and
guacamole.
Really?
I like guac. Yeah.
You wouldn't take a food truck, or is that just to the
I don't know. I mean, I guess honestly, like right now, I got a crush on like potato tacos.
That sounds good.
It's literally just like mashed potatoes, like seasoned mashed potatoes inside a taco shell.
Do you make these?
No, I like our my wife's friend's family used to own like restaurants, and whenever we would like do any parties, bridal showers, baby showers, birthdays, her mom and aunts would always cook, and like that's one thing they would always bring. And then if we go to like Juan's Flamin' Fajitas, like down the street, like they offer kind of a more like churched up version of it.
I've never been there.
There's this spot down the street who does like potato taquitos. So I mean, like it's like not everyone has it, but it's around.
Dude, can we take the show on the road one time and do like a foodie beer tour and go check some shit out?
Literally, my whole life is a foodie beer tour. Like,
why don't we podcast that shit?
By the way, I want to like, not that I wanted to share it on the show, but I hit a badge the other day for like, let me see here,
1,000 beers.
No,
that was 2 weeks ago.
There it is. Bar Explorer level 5, level 100. 500 distinct venues.
For bars?
I've checked in beers from 500 different venues.
Wow.
Is that crazy?
Dude, that's really interesting. Which one stands out to you the most?
Which one? Which badge?
No, not badge. Which venue do you like? If you had to choose A venue.
595 Craft and Kitchen.
Wow, where's that?
It's south side of town, closer to you, like Rainbow and Tropicana.
Wow, what do you
Rainbow
like?
Trop.
I want to check it out. Why do you like it?
It's literally, I don't know, just like, I also just know the people there at this point. They know me and my wife. Like, before we go to dinner, we don't usually eat there all the time. We eat there sometimes, but if we're going to like Chinatown for dinner, we drop the kids at her mom's. We go to 595. They have a good cocktail program, so she'll grab her favorite like cocktail. They always are rotating in the best beers possible. They do tap takeovers, but again, I just know like the people and the staff, and they like they know me.
What's a tap takeover?
Tap takeovers like where a brewery will come in and like. So if there's like 25 beers on tap usually at this place, they will come over and bring 25 kegs, and so for that night and the next day, they're just gonna like run a whole bunch of beers from that brewery, but just like until those kegs tap out. It's kind of like a miniature beer fest. And then it's like when something taps out, they put back the normal beer that would normally be on that tap.
That sounds cool.
That happens all the time. Like Beer Zombies does them. Shout out to Beer Zombies.
Which did they buy Tenaya Creek?
Yeah, they bought Tenaya Creek. So now they own that spot. But like it's pretty common practice. So, but I don't know. I was trying to find the other badge, but I've been to like so many states too. Like
What's your favorite state?
I'm close to like outside of Vegas.
Vegas is a city.
I like Missouri. I like Kansas City a lot. 30 states or countries is where I've been.
30 states or countries?
Yep.
What's next on the list? Where's your next?
Where am I traveling to next?
Yeah, and not like I'm not saying like going to California again. Like where's your next destination that you haven't been to that you're really most looking forward to?
So I would say like if I have a top 3 in the U.S. that I still have. Well, top 4 in the U.S. that I still haven't done. One would be, and this is probably in no particular order, but Austin, Texas. More for the food, but beer's fine too. Nashville, kind of food. Asheville, North Carolina, purely for the beer. And then I want to go to like Northeast, like Connecticut, really. I want to do like a pizza and beer tour. So I want to get like, Connecticut style, like beats. So New Haven style. Sorry.
Okay, that's cool.
Yeah, sorry.
And I would like to go to Austin at some point. It seems like a cool city.
Yeah, Austin seems fire.
Good music scene, right?
Oh, dude.
So is Nashville.
Well, yeah, as I'm saying. So I think it just good vibes, and like a lot of good food and spicy food. I like.
Do you like country music?
Hate it.
Did they play country music?
A lot of it.
Yeah.
I'll deal with it. I'm not like a dick about it necessarily. I guess you just said it. I sound like a dick about it. Just not my bag, but like I'm not like turn it off. It's terrible.
Dude, I don't love the country music, but there are some things that like they have some like hip hop country crossover stuff that's pretty cool. And a few weeks ago I saw Darius Rucker at
hell yeah.
That was
motherfucking Hootie, dude.
Yeah, Hootie. He actually played some Blowfish songs. But dude, I thought that was kind of cool. I saw like half his set when I was at a place doing a thing, and it was fucking cool. So I'm not hating on country music. I never turn it on. But one day I was playing golf and I was just using like some Post Malone as some seed music, and then it started playing some what's his name, Morgan Wallen or whoever that guy is. Apparently he's famous because some shit was good from him. And anyways, I was like, oh, that's good. And there was some crossover stuff on there, and I was like, dude, maybe I don't hate it. I don't know.
No, man, good. I mean, like, again, as you get older, your tastes will change and evolve, and it's no big deal. So, I mean, as long as you find something you connect with. There's one artist I like a lot, but the recent stuff has kind of been some, like, country fusion type of stuff where he's bringing in more, like, country steel guitar and, like, violins and, like the style and twang to it, and I'm not a big fan of it. You know what I mean? So it doesn't hit the same. You know what I mean? I'm not like gonna throw out the baby with the bathwater, but it's just not something I'm like superiorly into. So, all right, man. Well, I don't know, man.
We learned a lot about Matt today.
We did. Yeah. Sorry.
No, I was asking the questions.
True. Sorry about the. I'm trailing. All right. Well,
I think we should probably.
Maybe you and I are thinking the same thing, and maybe it's time for that main discussion where, just like today's beer, our emotions are bottled and canned. The main discussion, Jason. Here we are.
Dude, you got through your beer for the first time quicker than me. Usually I'm like,
I told you I was
slamming shit.
thirsty and ready today.
Yeah. So speaking of the main discussion in beers and motions, are the motions bottled and canned?
Oh, Jesus, man. As you know, they're just a little bit of both.
So tell us about...
So I thought when this beer, I thought of a real fun topic for me anyway. Just because, again, it's kind of pointless, and I guess it was just kind of silly. More of a fun and a topic. But I wanted to see where it took you and see if you inspired maybe something a little bit deeper than I was going to potentially bring to the episode. But when I saw Reefer Madness, I thought, obviously, where I would like to talk about today is the first time that you tried marijuana. And
my mom's listening.
I understand that, but I mean, like the first time they tried it, and I know you're not like a weed guy by any stretch of the imagination. Yeah, but like, you know, like your first experience with it or a funny story relating with it there. So again, those are the two options there, where maybe if you don't have something that like really you're inspired to talk about, a funny story involving weed or reefer with someone else, where they got in trouble or like, you know, family or something like kind of more crazy on that side of it. So that's it. Something more like laid back. And I'll start just because I think you probably need a second to brew on this one. Sometimes I throw these curveballs at you and you are already ready to go. Today, you need to marinate on this one, right?
Yes.
Yes. All right. I read it right. So first off, I think it's important to state that I was kind of like really against weed, like forever. And I do think to my benefit potentially, like that worked out because they say that like if you start smoking kind of like habitually too young or too early, you can like kind of have some developmental problems or create more challenges. And I like held off forever. So it was like, again, through high school, I've talked about it on the show before, but it was almost kind of cool to not be into drugs. It was almost kind of cool not to be into like drinking, whatever.
Did you wear
at
the
the
Dare
parties.
t-shirt?
You know, maybe a little bit like minted, who knows?
Was your best friend officer friendly?
Kind of. Again, but like, no, again, we were kind of like in a band and musicians. Like it was kind of, again, cool to not like do that stuff. Straight edge. We kind of like talked about it before. Anyway, so I didn't start super young or in high school, and like guys around me would smoke and I never got it. I was so kind of like perplexed by it. I was like, why? So my little brother would get in trouble with it. I'm like, you guys are crazy. How do you find this stuff? Where do you, you know, and I still to this day, like never done any hard drug really out there. I'm kind of like a little like, I still kind of am a little square deep down, like a little bit of like a weirdo. But I finally like had a chance to try it in like this window in my life where I was like 18 and it was like, my friend was like, yo, here's the plan. I know how much you love to eat. That's kind of how they ended up selling me on it. It was like, dude, you love to eat. You can eat so much. I had like a reputation for being, I could eat like 2 Chipotle burritos, like quickly, like no problem. I had a record for eating a whole Chipotle burrito in 9 bites. I could crush, it sounds disgusting, but my friends will absolutely vouch for those numbers. What?
Speaking of eating that many or that much, the burritos or a 240 some foot taco. My mom watched some of the video the other day and she goes, oh, I thought Matt was going to be a little heavy set and balding. So she was onto something. You like to eat.
My whole life, like I've been playing games with people and it's just the same thing. They're just like, I thought you were going to be a like
it's not at all what I
big,
thought he would look
set
like.
Guy with the big, you know, anyway, whatever. All right, anyway.
But she must have known that you eat tacos.
Okay, I eat tacos. All right, anyway, that is wild. What were they talking about? Jesus.
Getting high.
Yes,
and they
that's right,
sold
the
you
first
on it by
time.
eating.
Yeah, so they were like, that reputation was like, again, I could just eat so much and like big, a lot. And they were just like, dude, you are going to, music is going to sound better. The food is going to taste better. You're going to be so much hungrier than you've ever been in your life. I'll drive. All you have to do is like sit in the back seat. And if you hate it, you never have to do it again. And it was just like one of my good friends that I trusted. And I was like, fine, like almost like I didn't like look forward to it. I was just kind of like, I'll do this thing. And then I'll never forget, like the one core element of this story to me was shout out to Jark Moans here. We're in the back of his like Chevy. Fuck. It's kind of a boaty Chevy.
Impala, Caprice.
Kind of like an Impala body style, but not an Impala. It doesn't matter anyway. So
Malibu.
Kind of maybe like an older body Malibu. And then so I'm in the back seat and he puts on this song and it's like T-Pain called I'm So High. And so like the lyrics are like all about like being high and how he's in the back seat of a car and all of a sudden the smoke is flowing and his heart rate's off and he's trying to relax and like as I'm coughing, like the lyrics are like someone's beating on my back and it's like and it was just like this weird like moment where like the lyrics were kind of like telling the story of what was going, and my buddy like kind of knew what he was doing, and it was and I've never like loved that song or whatever, but like anyway, it was great. It was such a fun experience. Then we went to Burger King and it was dollar menu back then, right? Like where it was like a proper fucking dollar menu. Do you know what I'm talking about? Where
it was like $1.
Yeah, but like every day there was a lot of stuff on the dollar menu.
Maybe
and it
even
was
99
like
cents sometimes.
Whatever, but you know what I mean? Where it wasn't just like it was 5 things. Like no, it was legit like
oh yeah, the cheeseburger, the fries.
There's a chicken parm sandwich, a spicy chicken sandwich, a shake, the pies, the everything. There was kind of like a dollar menu version or something at that time. So I think I went and spent like $16 on like items there. I was like, I need 2 Junior Whoppers, 2 rodeo cheeseburgers, 2
kind of like Blues Brothers. I need 4 fried chickens and a Coke.
Yes, I mean it was yes, and I paid for my food and I ate every single bite and I went up and I ordered more food. And they were all just so impressed. And I thought it was, again, and really I took a break after that. Like I tried it and it was like a long time till I was like, I tried it again. It took a long time to where I was even close to even habitually smoking or even like getting like any kind of habit. Like I think it was like from then I smoked maybe a handful more times, but over the next 5 years, and then took a huge break for like 2 years. Then all of a sudden I, started smoking a little bit with my friend, and all that. And then now it's just going to become more like, it's legal, it's recreational, it is what it is. Like, after work, all that stuff, whatever. But, I don't know. But anyway, it's just like a different thing these days. But I just will never forget my first time and how, again, the music was like such a cool part of it to me. And that song still like is fun to go back and revisit. From time to time, I do get nostalgia and think about it, but I don't know. Yeah, very harmless, kind of like safe version of that first tale. But I do have an inverse version of that too. So my reefer madness that was like a negative experience was, I mentioned that maybe I only did it a handful more times ever, So I like this is after I was like I had moved away and I moved back to Kansas City for a little while. So I was away from my family. But I was like 18, 19, and I didn't want to smoke, but they kind of convinced me to, and I smoked way too much, or like hit a bong for the first time or something, I don't remember. But I completely lost control and was like, the room was like spinning and I was lost, and I was supposed to go to a movie with my girlfriend at the time, and she did not want me to be high. And then my friend was going to drop me off, so you have to drive, I'll just drop you off. All you do is sit through a movie, bro. You're going to be inside of a movie. She's not going to know, dude. Like selling me on it.
The worst thing you could ever do?
So high, and I showed up, and I was there for 3 seconds. She's like, "What are you high?" And I was just like, "No."
Fuck, she knows. Everybody knows. Everybody knows I'm high.
I was so dumb,
dude.
But like, and that's like, I think that's why I took a break after that, because I just like didn't want to do it, and like I was like, I don't want to feel like that ever again. I've never felt like that ever since. It was like one time.
Well, okay, so first of all, when you're that age, the worst thing you can do is ever listen to your friends. They're the worst influence.
Sure.
Dude, yeah, no, it'll be fine. It'll be fine. It's not fine. It's never fine. When they say, when you're in high school, college, and you're doing dumb shit, and they go, it'll be fine. Nothing can happen. They won't even know. They always fucking know. Everything happens, and it's not fine. Why do you even do that? Dude, that's interesting. I've had some It's not that I haven't tried it enough. I mean, I still try that shit to like it. I think too much. It has sometimes it's great, but most of the time I get really like insecure. I feel like I don't know anything. I think too much. Things feel, I don't know, more dramatic than they should be. And I can't, dude, I want to be alone. I remember, oh my God, one time I had got a job. I just, was given I was just given the, oh yeah, that's a good idea. I meant to ask you to do that earlier. But just got my job offer. And I was really happy. Went out, celebrated, had a few drinks.
Whatever, go ahead. I'm just
Buddy of mine had been over, left a joint. I was like, you know what? I'm going to go outside and smoke this thing.
It's irrelevant. I was going to say,
what
like,
a terrible idea after you've been drinking all day or for quite some time to go out and get like really high.
Yeah, no. Terrible.
It was like...
Not terrible.
Dude,
terrible
I sat on the couch and I was so high. I made it to the couch, but I couldn't make it to the bed.
So, dude,
I was like, this is a terrible idea.
That actually sparked something for me. So, again, part of the big reason, too, I didn't smoke. And, again, like, I did have some kind of morals, ideals, ethics around that. Again, it was fine. My buddy, Brian, Hef, we'll call him, he was the one, he liked to smoke a lot. And he also was kind of drinking with, like, this certain crowd. And we were kind of always, like, trying to get him to, like, not hang out with those guys. But we were like, no matter what, it's like the same friend group that comes out here. Like, the same group of guys. We're the ones kind of pushing him to be like, come on, don't hang out with those guys. Like, don't drink with those guys. Like, we understood that, like, him and one other guy liked to smoke. We kind of just, we didn't understand the smoking, but, like, the group kind of accepted that. But the drinking was like, nah, we're not doing no drinking. It was weird. But one night he went to hang out with those guys, drank a ton, smoked, and then drove home and flipped his Jeep like on a country road in the back and didn't have his seatbelt on and basically got flung from the car like early on in the roll. And if he would have had his seatbelt on, he would have died. That's what like the people said. So again, or vice versa, I'm fucking this up, where he had the seatbelt on and he would have died. So
let's go with that route so we don't have the moral of the story being don't wear a seatbelt.
No, that's not the point. But either way, like he had like a $2,000 sound system in that Jeep. It was a nice like Jeep Cherokee back then. It was a beast. And it was like I don't know, we almost lost him. You know what I mean? So I think there was also like that. Yeah, like that combination of drinking and weed was always so scary. And I like firsthand had a friend who almost died falling asleep on the way home. He said he knew he was tired. He felt himself nodding off. Next thing he knew, he woke up at a hospital. And it was just like, Jesus, man.
Dude, I will tell you, I've done it enough. I tried a lot, enough in high school, college. I mean, one time I got accused of it. I remember I came home. My mom, it's like midnight or something. I was in high school. My mom was like all mad. She's like, Bob smelled weed on you. And I was like, I didn't fucking smoke weed. Legit, swear to God, didn't smoke weed. I came home stone sober. I was the DD, the whole deal. Didn't even drink that night, nothing, high school, college, or whatever. My stepdad was really pissed because he thought he smelled. It probably was just like the smell of cigarettes or something. And then I got like, Mom, you don't trust me? That you raised me right? What kind of mother do you think you are? Anyways, we argued for a while. And then
aggressive, dude.
Yeah. Well, I thought if I flipped it, I can get out of it. Because I really legit didn't do it. But then the next night, I wasn't the DD, and I did get drunk and high, and I came home and nobody said shit. So, mission accomplished.
Weird.
Decoy. Dude. But, no, I've tried it enough. I remember one time, dude, even though I don't know why I keep trying it. I don't like it. But it is the one thing, though, and I still use it to sleep, honestly. Like, I'll take a hit of a pen, but I can only do it legit when I'm, like, just about to go to sleep because it helps me get into a deep sleep because otherwise my mind won't shut, like, off. That's the time where I can use it. And there's occasionally if I can watch some sports or all of a sudden I'll get really into a movie. But you brought up something. I remember being younger and being in the backseat of somebody's car that had, like, the stereo and, like, how good the bass would hit. You're like... Dude,
Gangster's Paradise.
And dude, and then you're sitting, you listen to some of the music, and you're like, dude, did they make this just for the people who are high? Because it's, or like you're watching the movie, you're like, dude, I remember one time watching like Family Guy, And I'm like, yeah, exactly. That's how it goes, right? I remember watching Family Guy one time, and they went in this weird skit that lasted too long, and I was like, the fuck is this? Am I high? Why are they doing? And I go, oh, they might have been doing it for the people that are fucking high. Like they throw like this, like you catch these things in movies. You're like, they're just fucking entertaining the high motherfuckers. They know what they're doing,
dude. Yeah, there was once like I think one of those early times I was smoking, and I was listening to this song, and this guy was rapping so fast, and he even said like, "Motherfuckers holding their breath," and I was just like, oh, he got me.
Right.
Like, I was holding my breath. How did he know? It's like a magic trick, you know? So stupid.
Dude, no, it is. But, dude, I remember one time I was at a party and they were passing around. And, you know, I didn't want to, like, not do it. So I did it. And then I got too high. And I was like, I can't be around anyone. I can't do anything. So I go into this back room. And there was, like, these two people. Like, they were this couple is like, guy and a girl's couple. They were trying to find like a little private area, and I walk in and they had like a movie on, but they were kind of like making out in the corner of this room. And I was like, listen, don't mind me. I was like, I'm way too high. I can't be out there. I'm not gonna look. I just want to watch this movie. You know, it's like they're like, what? I was like, I can't be out there. This is the only place to be. So just ignore me. Do what you do. It was so uncomfortable. But like some of these people, the rest of these people out there were drinking like bong water and doing the dumbest shit. I'm like, ugh. But yeah,
I'm not sure that does anything.
I don't know.
I don't think that does anything.
Nah, he threw up, so that happened.
Okay, well, you got that going for him.
Yeah, dude. No, I there was a lot of. I don't even know why. I don't know why I tried it so much. And like when I was younger,
it was wild. I mean, I guess I just realized looking back, like there was like a handful of kids that just did a lot of it because they had older brothers who would like get it for them and stuff. I just again like. I wasn't really like no one even really offered it to me. Everyone just kind of knew I was kind of a square, I guess. But
were you always like a rule follower, or
yeah?
What rules would you, growing up, did you break that you were like?
I think I was
because everybody's a little bit rebellious.
I don't know, man. I think homework was like one that I just didn't. Nah, Matt, show me you can do the math. No, I can do the math. Give me the test. No. You have to do 6 weeks of homework,
right?
And then you're allowed to take the test. I was like, just give me the test, I'll pass it. And it's like, no, you have to do the homework. And I'm like, that is the dumbest shit I've ever heard in my life. Like, even at a young age, I just didn't understand busy work as homework. I was like, it's about aptitude, not effort.
Yeah.
As it sounds like, you know. Anyway, whatever. So
attitude reflects leadership, sir.
Yes, whatever, dude. But no, I so there's.
You were such an adult even as a kid.
I know, I really was. And then so I'd say that was, what was the other one? That was the kind of question again? Just bad habits or bad.
No, like what rules did you break?
Rules that I break.
Yeah.
That one, and then I love to stay home from school. That was like my favorite thing to do, so I would fake sick a lot. That's probably the biggest rule.
Like Ferris Bueller style?
Like Ferris Bueller style. I had techniques to make the thermometer be too hot. I had ways to make myself feel, and like, you know, I don't know. I really hated school. And I love The Price is Right and Sega Genesis. So like, you know, it was really easy for me to stay home as much as I could. I was still sick one more day. I'd also schedule it like I'd start on a Wednesday, so I could do Thursday and be like, I'm kind of feeling better, but I just go back next week.
Like you're one of these assholes that would just like can get good grades without trying.
Like that's not true. Well,
yes.
No. I mean, I still would like. I guess. How would I like? It wasn't that. I would still have to like figure it out myself. You know what I mean? But I would try. I would try differently. I would still try. I'd like teach myself, or I'd learn, or I'd read it once and be like, okay, I can figure that. I can do that. That's, again, this sounds way too egotistical. I really wasn't like a top student. My sisters, though, both of them are like very smart, very good. So like, I'm the black sheep of the family. Like, give them all the credit. But no, I mean, it wasn't like I was never like.
Do they smoke weed?
Dog. No.
Does your mom?
No. Well,
Pops?
she does now that she's older because she's got like some foot pain and stuff like that. Some more like medically, not recreationally.
So I've tried like CBD stuff and like to treat certain things. I don't know. I feel like it's a gimmick. I think it's just an excuse to get high. Because does it really work?
For some people, it does.
Because sometimes I focus more on the pain.
There's some pretty good studies. I mean, it's not necessarily like snake oil. There's some like real, like research around cannabinoids and like receptors in the body. And
dude, speaking of that kind of research, have you seen that research on like that methylene blue? Have you heard about that?
No.
It's supposed to be really good for your brain, but it's like a clothes dye, like for clothes. And like, I don't know. I just saw a couple people talking about it. I got like an ad for it, and I was like trying to look at it, and they're like, dude, it's, I don't know. There's a guy that I follow on Instagram that was saying like, he was having seizures and he took this instead, and with his doctor's direction, and he's like, I haven't had those seizures. It was better than the medication. Anyways, and I was just kind of wondering because it's weird, because those are those things that are like, well, there's not enough studies or trials on the stuff, like, and I've always wondered what to be skeptical of and what not to. That's why I said last week, like, I was like, oh, I'm just gonna believe everything. Makes it more fun.
It's on the internet.
Yeah,
you know, like you said. No, I don't know. Methylene blue, huh? Yeah,
something like that. I don't know. I feel like it. I don't know. There's like they sell it in a lot of different places, different brands. I don't know. But anyways, like it's funny because you look at some of these studies, and sometimes like you can always find data analytics like we have on the show to match
our show analytics.
Yeah, our show analytics to match the I don't know, whatever narrative you're trying to spin, right? But I do think in general, I don't know why weed has ever been framed as such a bad thing. Obviously, you kind of referenced it earlier. One of the reasons it was probably done, and I don't want to get into that kind of stuff because I don't know enough about that kind of stuff, but it seems way less harmful than alcohol. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah. I mean, I don't know. There's like, I think like there's like, again, this is probably a very like intense topic for some people. So I don't want to like overstate any kind of position on it because I feel like it's just irritating to be like dug my heels in either way. But the best way was like an old quote, and I fucking forget who said it. Probably someone embarrassing that would embarrass me to like be repeating at this point in my life. But I have never been so high I couldn't put pants on. I have been so drunk I could not put pants on.
okay, that's a good point.
And when I think back to like times that I have been too drunk, like it is like, but I can't even stand. I am like laying over. I can't stand up straight. When I'm too high, the worst thing that happens is I just get very tired and need to lay down. Like, it's not necessarily blackout, pass out. Like, how did I end up here? You're just like, I'm just gonna lay down here.
Have you ever been blackout drunk?
Twice. But both times, like, yeah, twice.
Dude, so I think it happened to me once. I was with my cousin in Houston, and I don't know what his job was, but there was a bunch of bars that the ownership group owned at this one I don't know, this one street in Houston. And I was visiting him, and we just went from bar to bar and just drinking. And I remember in the morning, I woke up, and I was like, dude, where was the last place we went? And he said, this place. I go, I don't remember that place. And he starts laughing, and he goes, well, we were going to go home because you said you had to go, because apparently I said, I can't see. We should go. And then I was like, maybe that's blackout drunk. I couldn't see. And I was like, oh, my God. That was probably I was so drunk I couldn't even throw up the next day. I tried and I tried. We had to go get IVs. That was the only thing that made me feel better. Like I had to go get like
Lulu.
I had to go get like treatment. It was so bad. That was probably the worst I've ever been. But I couldn't believe I couldn't. I might have been like almost alcohol. I mean, I don't even know. Like
yeah, like I think that both times were like alcohol poisoning for me, like dangerous.
Well, they say
like dry heaving at a certain point. Both times. Yeah.
Do you think if aliens looked down at us and be like, "Why are these people like literally poisoning themselves?"
I think they'd come down and try it and be like, "I get it. That was dope. Like that was fun. I think they'd appreciate it."
Dude, I really wish I liked weed. Like I really because the good side of it, like it does. Because I think so much, I always feel very unsettled on the inside, and when I take a hit, it's like all of a sudden I feel very calm on the inside, but it doesn't always shut the brain down, unless I'm into like maybe I'm playing Sudoku. Is that how you say it?
Sudoku.
Yeah, unless I'm playing that, then I like I've got my mind focused on one thing, or I have to be like really into a movie, and then I like it,
Yeah.
but it's always like if I do it, I have to be alone. It has to be night. I have to watch a movie or go right to bed because the only thing that settles me. It's just I don't know. Sometimes I have like this guy I play golf with. He wanted to try it for the first time, a Mormon guy, and he was like, "Dude, should I do it?" I'm like, "Based on your personality." I go, "I know other people with your personality. Kind of seems like you might like it." So he took some gummies, and he goes, "I'm never doing that again." He's like, "I thought I was dying. I ended up in the ER." Yeah. And I was like, "Oh, you didn't do enough. You should try more. Try it one more time, but do more."
You gotta be careful with edibles. Edibles and smoking it are completely different drugs. Let's be clear. Totally different ways your body processes them. Totally different feelings and experiences.
What about the pen? Like
Pen
the
is
vape?
closer. Yeah, the pen is closer to like smoking it. I don't know. I mean, I think we've talked about it before. I think for you, the times you've had bad experiences versus the time you haven't are more of the cocktail of what are called terpenes. There's profiles within that'll kind of like give you a different array of experiences. So I think if you found the right blend of terpenes that don't trigger your anxiety, you'd be fine. But it's also like there's so much to pick from, it's hard to find the right blend. It's almost like you just need to find the mix that works for you, and it's not worth the work. And like I wouldn't even encourage you to find it. I would tell you,
Dude, at these
don't
dispensaries-
chase this invisible like thing. Just you don't need to enjoy it. For me, it's just like old hat, just like riding a bike. It's
Do you feel like you're more creative?
100%. Like, and that's the best thing is that like, and I really like not even just like saying it. I think you've known me. Like, I really would hope you'd vouch for me just because I would feel like guilty even lying about something like this. But like,
Saying that makes me not want to vouch for
I
you.
know it kind of like I understand that would make you not want to do it,
But I will vouch for you.
even though like I do partake, right? I always have like a work boundary. Like you would never catch me coming in from a work break at lunch stoned. You could never catch me on a conference call at 3:00. Like I can never be high at work. Like I do have a separation.
So,
like when work is over, we're done with meetings, we're done at the client meals, then I can go be free and do what I want. But I don't blend like the habit or like the recreation.
Why do
with
you think
work.
it is so many people do? Because like
I know a couple people, like some guy we work with, he's high all the time.
more than
Every time he's at work, he's high.
So my thought process is like you wouldn't typically go to lunch and drink or take your break and sit in your car,
Exactly.
slam a 40 and go back to work.
No.
But why is it that the people who smoke weed are like, I'm just gonna go outside and have and smoke a J and then come back to work? Like, why is it that people who smoke think it's okay to do it all day long?
I again, like if you can do it, like props to you. I just couldn't do it. It's just not. I love the the separation of it, but it's also like it's fun. It's like a fun little like reward at the end of the day or something. Like
It's no different
earned
than
this. I've earned this.
It's no different than having a beer at the end of the day, right? It's
right,
it's actually better.
And then again, to your point, like I'll drink more beers tonight with you, like 3 than I will all week in a single night, because that's the mix. You just do a light amount of,
then you nurse a
little
drink.
reefer madness, dude, and then you do like a couple beers, and it's a good night. Like I can save calories on drinking more beers.
You coast it out.
Coast it out, dude, and then I go to bed at 8:00, so it's really
Dude,
easy.
yeah, I go to bed early
to
too.
just like drink, be drinking
So-
waters by 7, and then I'm in bed.
What would you say, like, at what age would you care if your kids tried it?
The research says like as the older the better. I would like to see them make it to like college, like 18.
Are you one of those parents that would say,
I would like if I would like to catch them doing it, I'd like to see them 18 plus. I'd encourage them to wait till they were like legal, like 21.
or are you one of those parents that would prefer them to try it for the first time in a safe environment at home? Or is that like one of those things
That's
like,
too tough to tell. Like right now, I guess hearing that instinctually, no. I want them to have like their privacy. Like I believe in, like I'm not libertarian or anything like that or something. I don't know. Maybe I'm probably abusing that word a little bit. I'm not saying it right. I'm not even meaning politically spoken. I just meant like, I believe in like we have the right as humans and adults, not even Americans, but as humans, as people, to kind of put in our body what we want. And at the same time, it's kind of no one's business. And again, we're sharing it here on the show. That's fine. If I want to share it, I can share it. Like that's fine. I'm comfy sharing it. But like no company or no person should ever come to me, point their finger in my chest, and be like, "What do you do?" Like none of your fucking business what I put in my body.
What do you think is?
And I feel like for my kids, I want them to have that same autonomy. I guess that's my point. Is like I want them to feel like it's like I want to be a part of it. Like I'm not trying to tell them they can't do something, but if they do it, it's kind of their choice and it's their kind of like burden and their thing to hide.
They got to figure their own.
They got to figure their own shit out.
But I think also I
don't want to be a part of it.
Like I'm not a parent, and I never will be. So I don't know that. I don't know what I would think about if I was a parent or if my nephew or my nieces wanted to try it. I definitely wouldn't be like one of those people. I'd rather just be like, dude, when you're of age, you can try it, right? Like you're not going to stop kids from doing it, but I also wouldn't want to condone it and be like, yeah, it's okay.
And that's what I'm saying. It's like, exactly.
But also it depends on the kids. Some kids are raised with better judgment and some kids are more mature. Like obviously you're an older soul, if that's the right thing to say, right?
Yeah.
Like, so you were probably more responsible. You thought differently. You were more of an adult as a kid. So you taking on risk, your risk assessment for your own life came with the same ability to weigh out consequences.
Yeah.
And not every kid or every person can weigh out the consequences before they take a risky action. So I guess it would depend on the person, and what's right for that. Like everybody's
exactly.
different.
And that's why I say like right now where I'm at, that's where I'm at. Like I would trust both of the kids so far to kind of like assess those risks and make their own choices. And I'm not saying they'd make the right choice. In fact, I'd pick which one of the two would make the wrong choice.
How much of that?
That's how I feel.
How much of that the based on how your kids are, because they seem pretty mature. They seem to have good head on their
It's all
shoulders
based
for
on
age.
like that.
How much of that do you think is just how they were, like genetically? How much is it based on parenting?
No, I think again, I failed my first assignment in my first college class in psychology because you had to write a paper on if it's nature or if it's nurture, and you had to pick one. And I spent the whole paper lamenting how there's no way to pick one. Like you cannot ignore one without the other, like some prick or something, which wasn't the assignment and which is fine, but which I think is true. So
right. Well, I would argue that you did the assignment correctly and I would give you an A because nothing is, typically speaking, most things are not all one thing. It can't be nurture or nature. It's both.
it's impossible to separate the two.
It is absolutely impossible to separate the two. So, yeah, that's interesting. You failed psychology, or you didn't do well in it?
No, I mean technically, like if I'm like really being vulnerable, like I only failed because like I failed that assignment and I showed up for the first like week of classes and then I just never showed up again.
Were you not interested in it?
I didn't. Yeah, I don't know. It was like community college. I was like trying to like do the band stuff and I just didn't want to do it, and I was just pretending.
Was it a priority?
Tough. It was tough. It wasn't a priority, and I kind of tried, and then I let it go. I should have finished.
So
that was a big regret.
What? 2 questions for you. What was your favorite subject? Like
music.
Okay.
Classical music.
Yeah, I wish I liked music. Like I like listening to music.
Yeah.
So then the next question was going to be what's your favorite subject when you're high? And I'm going to ask this because music could easily be that, but also the way your brain works, maybe you like to analyze and search. Like because you're a very informed person, you're inquisitive, like you know a lot of things. Every time I bring up a topic that I'm interested in, it's like you already have done research on it on your own, which I would assume are things that you start diving into these little rabbit holes, maybe when you're smoking a little bit because you're like maybe zoned in or tuned into it. So for me, I always liked, I like psychology. I love human behavior. Like it really intrigues me. Even at work, I'm like bringing up, these like things people I follow on social media, like hostage negotiators and body language experts, because I think it's fucking it's just absolutely fascinating. And I think like I thought I liked psychology, which I do, but I also love philosophy. Wow. And I'm thinking if I liked smoking, which one would I like more? Right? Like, so
that's good. I think it's a good point. It's a good question. I feel like the same things probably intrigue me, but sometimes actually when you smoke, it's more of an escape. And so I'd say there's also like some content you probably wouldn't watch sober. Right? Like, yes, those topics, like you'd be more interested in them, but there's like true crime. I love true crime, especially when I'm high, because it's like, this could happen. this is possible. This happened to a real person. That could have been me. That could have been someone I know. It's just like this weird thing. But, dude, it's I've never thought of it like topics that are more intriguing when you're high. But
that should have been the next time killer vein filler. Figure that out.
Maybe you should do that. Maybe you should make. Okay, so maybe that's okay. You give me a topic. All right, we'll figure it out,
dude. No, because I think I'm just thinking about that. Like, there's certain things I really want to dive into. My problem is I'm very inquisitive, but I can't read. Right? Like, I'm literate. I can read, but like, dude, today I had meetings at work. I had to read all those like shout outs because I was the only one leader there today, and I was hosting. I was like, y'all got to bear with me. You know, I hate reading and reading out loud, especially. I did good though. Give myself a pat on the back. I got through it. But you know, by working with me, I hated reading out loud.
I know.
It's the worst.
I literally like, Jason, you want me to take this for you? You know, like just to be a homie. I tried to be a homie.
Yeah, like, dude, you know how many times I'm like, oh, sorry guys, I gotta take this. Somebody cover for me, and I'll walk out and be like, okay, I can go back in. My section's over.
Are we done with my part?
Oh, okay. I'm more of an ad lib guy. It's easier.
Yeah.
But no, I think that like, if I was to like smoking, I would probably dive into, because you know I'm really intrigued by the universe stuff and the aliens and
dude, sober, you're like consciousness and universe and simulation theory, and you love that shit sober, like
right. Like I would really dive in. Like the other day, I was like, man, what if I was high and learned this stuff about like how much of like you can really. Like we can see less than 1%, a fraction of a percent of the things that could be seen, and we can hear even less than that. So like of all the things that could be seen and heard, we can see and hear we can only perceive less than 1%, a fraction of a percent of the things that could be seen or heard. All the other stuff around us is like we don't know. And I'm like, dude, if I was high and dude, that shit would blow my mind. Or listen to like Neil deGrasse Tyson talk about like the universe. If I was high, I'd be like, oh my God, I want to be like a fucking rocket scientist or whatever the hell he is, astrologist, or what the fuck is he?
Oh, I think he's like, an astrophysicist.
Yeah, there you go. An astrologist is somebody's like, oh, Mercury's in retrograde. That kind of shit.
No, I think it's someone who studies the stars.
Yeah.
But it's fine.
Or like maybe if I was high, I'd be like way more into numerology and be like, whoa, like, dude.
What's the symbology there?
Yeah, I think the more
symbolism. The term is symbolism. Sorry, that's a Boondock Saints quote. Sorry.
Dude. You know what? That's not a Guy Ritchie movie, is it?
No, but it's kind of like a Guy Ritchie fucking movie. Do you remember that movie, Boondock Saints? That shit was so good, dude.
Dude, I think I really think I like Guy Ritchie movies. Didn't he just come out with a documentary?
He came out. There was like a war movie I need to watch of his. It's like 2023 that I need to see. But I love like Snatch and Rock and Rolla and.
Dude,
Lock, Stock, and Two Smoking Barrels,
dude,
bro.
Awesome movies. I didn't see. What was it? I haven't seen Rock and Rolla, but
you haven't seen Rock and Rolla?
No. But Snatch,
Gerard Butler, Tom Hardy, Idris Elba, bro. Oh, it's good.
Dude, that sounds like.
It's also got like what's his name?
You just named a bunch of dope ass people.
Yeah, like it's legit. Like it's.
Dude, would you? Oh my god.
More than that. There's like everyone in it, even like the young guys, like He's a big actor now. He was like a tiny young kid then. Anyway, whatever.
Dude, I think like what is it? Can you ask Shintu to look up real quick for us what the Guy Ritchie documentary is?
We're gonna look this up and then we're gonna close out. I'm getting tired. Guy Ritchie true crime documentary, The Diamond Heist.
Dude,
is that it?
I want to check that out.
Okay.
Dude, his movies. Go back up. Let's see his movies real quick. I want to see all of his movies. And
Snatch.
Great movie. I think is that an underrated movie or just not well known? Because not everybody's seen that. Like
what? Snatch?
Dude, Brad Pitt was awesome. Absolutely awesome in that movie.
Really? People haven't seen that? Revolver's good too. Rock and Rolla, Snatch, Lock, Stock. Those are the ones that matter to me.
What does that say, Uncle?
The Man from U.N.C.L.E., which was an old TV show that was like a rebooted movie. Yeah, dude. Rock and Rolla, brother.
Dude, I'm going to
Gerard Butler, Tom Hardy, Idris Elba, Toby Kebbell, Mark Strong, Tom Wilkinson, bro. Jeremy Piven. Ludacris is in it.
Luda.
All right, anyway, it's a good fucking movie. So, all right, buddy. Anything else you want to say about Reefer Madness before we button this motherfucker up and close this batch out?
Smoke it and tell us your best stories. Is that the moral?
Yeah. Put it in your pipe and smoke it.
put it in your pipe?
No, I think consume responsibly. Try to wait until you're older. If you're younger,
Such a parent.
try to wait until you're older. Just again, the studies show the longer you wait, the less risk of anxiety and developmental issues you acquire. And of course, just again, consume responsibly, be in a safe place, get some good food ordered ahead of time, just chill, stay parked, enjoy sports, movies, art, stay in school, and maybe do drugs safely.
And don't
Only
forget
safely though.
Don't forget to put the kicker box in the trunk and listen to your music when you're high.
That's right. And I'm tired and I'm sorry. Good night, Jason. But you're gonna say
Good night, Sweden.
welcome to this freshly had it again. Same thing last time.
You suck.